Hello there, and welcome back to the Laugh and Learn podcast. Laugh and learn with America's funniest handyman and friends. With me, as usual, is my good friend across the table from me, Hein Berger.
Wow!
Yay!
Also known as Hein Berger.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. But Andon's a legitimate handyman. He runs a business here in the Philadelphia area called, show him on the shirt, it's called Keystone
Handyman Solutions.
Right. Or Keystone Solutions Handyman, however you want to say it. He's a really good handyman. Great carpenter, great plumber, good friend.
Great guy.
And great guy all the way around. Time to stop stroking Andon, and we'll stroke me for a second, okay? I run a business here in the Philadelphia area called America's Best Handyman. I call myself America's Best Handyman because the title belt was just laying there, and so I picked it up and I ran with it. And until somebody challenges me to the title, I'm going to run with the title of America's Best Handyman. So that's what I do during the day. And that's what gives me legitimacy to come here on this podcast as America's funniest handyman and give you guys some good advice. It's called America's Funniest Handyman because I do comedy. I do stand-up and improv comedy part-time, and that's all. That's it.
That's all.
Whatever.
What do you do at night?
What do you do at night, Tom? Hey, Tom.
You do this during the day.
You remember?
What do you do at night?
Hey, Tom. You remember when I called you the other night? What were you doing? And more importantly, what were you wearing? So anyway. Oh, and here's my other buddy here. He makes a few sound effects once in a while, just to remind you that we don't take things too seriously. Today on the Laugh and Learn podcast, we're talking about kitchens. We're going to give you some basic advice on kitchens and what you want to think about if you're remodeling all or part of your kitchen. If you want to make some changes, subtle changes, and just replace a couple things, or if you're doing the whole thing, we're going to give you some really good tips on what you want to have in mind and the things that you want to think of, which leads me to my first order of business, which is I think as far as remodeling goes, anything in the house, I think the kitchen is probably the most important one, where it's important to think 10, 20 steps ahead of yourself.
Yeah. It might have been in the past, the living room was where everybody was. But these days it's the kitchen. Everybody's in the kitchen.
Right.
You hang out in the kitchen. You talk in the kitchen. The kitchen is the main... I don't even know what the word's called, but it's where everybody
gathering
area.
Yeah.
So here's one. If you're gonna have 20 people standing around your island in the kitchen all at the same time, all the time, make sure your joists are, maybe supported a little better than they would have been, because that's a lot of extra weight.
Make sure your kitchen is well supported from underneath, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, if you're remodeling and you're thinking, I'm going to have like 40 people in here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extra weight.
I'm not that popular. I'm never going to have 40 people in my kitchen.
I couldn't fit 40. But it's just,
I'm lucky to get 3.
Why is the tile all cracked? Well, because you had 40 people standing.
What's the most people you've ever had in your kitchen, Andon?
I think during the Super Bowl this last year, we were taking shots and singing the Philly Fight song, and there was about 5 of us.
Is that the most?
About it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I think the most people I've ever had in my kitchen as a single person, it was like 4.
E-A-G.
But when I was married in a former life, there were more people in the kitchen because there was a lot of family.
I guess it depends how big the kitchen is.
Depends on how big your family is too.
That's true. Or how many friends you have.
Yeah.
Or don't have.
Yeah. Or how many people you feel like putting up with.
Yeah.
I forgot. I have I totally forgot about this. It's not even written down in my notes. See, this is improv. I'm making this shit up as we go along. But I just remembered something when my daughter was 4 years old. She threw out an insult at one of the other kids. Okay, so the kids were throwing out insults at you. There's 3 kids in my back seat.
Okay.
There was a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and they were throwing insults at each other, which was to the tune of, you know what? I'm going to fart in your face. Oh yeah? Well, I'm going to poop on your head. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm just driving and not paying much attention. And then my 4-year-old daughter throws out this. Oh yeah? Well, I'm going to pee in your butt kitchen.
Oh my goodness, that's just not right.
Yeah.
What? Your butt kitchen.
I'm going to pee
in your
butt kitchen.
Okay.
So
I feel really awkward right now.
You should feel awkward because you don't know where your butt kitchen is. I don't. But you know.
But I don't want anybody peeing in my butt either.
Exactly. You don't want anybody peeing in your butt kitchen, even though you couldn't put a finger on where your butt kitchen is. You know you don't want anybody peeing.
Do you know where your weenus is?
Hold on. Let's just hold on. Yes, I know what my weenus is. This is the weenus. But I just want to get, for just a second, I want to salute the genius of this insult.
Okay.
Because, first of all, it just came out of a 4-year-old, right? But second of all, like, she didn't say anything that you could really get her in trouble for. She didn't say a bad word.
That's true.
But if I was to say to you, you know what, dude? I'm going to pee in your butt kitchen. You feel a little hurt. You feel insulted.
Yeah. Or I'd be confused, definitely. And I still feel awkward if you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe she won the insult.
She won the insult contest. The other 2 had no idea what level of genius they were dealing with at the time, but she is a child of mine, so it's no surprise that.
So what are the different parts of the kitchen?
Yes. What are the good segue? What are the different parts of the kitchen? All right, I'm just going to break them down real quick. We got plumbing, we got electrical, we got floors, we got walls, we got ceilings, we have HVAC, we have appliances, we have cabinets, we have backsplashes, and we have countertops. So we have all different types of surfaces, structures, anything that can go in a house goes in the kitchen.
Yeah. It's
the most complicated room in any house. There isn't a more complicated room.
I would say 100%.
Right.
What is your favorite appliance? People might have one. I don't know. Do you have one?
Do I have a favorite appliance?
Do you?
I think my favorite appliance. I'm just a simple guy. Okay. I'm a simple guy. Go ahead. You guess.
I'm gonna say the fridge.
Nope.
Okay.
Toaster.
Oh, that's good.
I like a nice old school simple 2 or 4 slot toaster that can go under the inside a cabinet when it's not being used. It doesn't necessarily have to live on the counter
in the appliance garage.
And I love toast.
You know what? My mom used to make toast with butter and then she put cinnamon sugar on it.
Oh, so yummy.
Oh my God. And there was this little blue tub and it had all the cinnamon and sugar in it.
Nice. Good. Okay, so what's your favorite appliance?
I would probably say the dishwasher.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to your wife in quite some time. King, is a comedy show.
I walked into that with my arms open and my eyes closed.
Just don't tell Becca that I said that, okay?
Yeah, dishwasher. I like it when it works.
Mm-hmm. It's a great appliance.
It's very helpful.
Yeah. Saves. It's a big time saver.
Yeah.
I think that dishwasher is probably the biggest time saver. I wouldn't call an oven a time saver, but it would take
I wish they were twice as big.
It would take a long time to cook a rack of lamb without it.
There's another good one. That's an appliance.
You'd have to turn up the heat in the house and wait for days for that rack of lamb to cook.
That would be you could probably cook some salmon in there if you wanted, but don't cook salmon in your dishwasher.
So I want to get back to the fact that when you're when you're doing a kitchen, you really have to plan many, many, many steps in advance, like even just for like setting and installing your kitchen cabinets. Like you gotta think a whole bunch of steps ahead, like where the backsplash is going to end up, the countertop height and depth, where the plumbing is going to get roughed out, where the outlets are going to go.
Where the lights are going to go when everything's finished, with crown or no crown. Like you put them in the wrong spot and suddenly like everything's like, what do you do?
Where do the lights go?
You can't fix it now. You got to like, yeah. There's a lot of plan,
to think about,
like chess, where you're thinking way at the end, like what's going to happen at the very end, when they put this and the finish goes on and it's supposed to work and fit. And
there's a lot of stuff in people's houses that I can just run in there, rip it apart and go, okay, now how am I going to fix this? But with kitchens and remodeling and doing kitchens, you can't rush into it. You really have to take a step back and plan it out properly. Because you got to think about, okay, at the end, what type of countertops? Like I said, how high are they going to be? What type of floors are you going to get? I mean, you can change your mind on a floor after you've already started working on your kitchen, and now instead of having a 3/4 inch thick floor, now the floor is going to be an 1.5 inch thick with a subfloor and all that other stuff. If you're doing tile, and you changed your mind in the middle, that affects a lot of different things.
Cascaded, it's the most functional room in the house.
It is the most functional room in the
house. There's all the mechanicals, the electricals, the plumbing, the appliances, all the finishes, all the paint, all the backsplash choice. There's just so many different things. So
electrical. Let's start with electric, because there's a lot of things that need power in a kitchen. Stove, even if it's a gas stove, it still needs an outlet.
It does.
A sink.
And if it's a large oven, it needs a 240 line. It's not going to run off 120.
A sink needs an outlet if you're gonna have a garbage disposal, which like unless you're Fred Flintstone, I don't know why you wouldn't want a garbage disposal.
Everybody
so you got to have an outlet. And then that outlet needs to run to a switch so that you can turn it off and on.
What's really popular now is the air switches.
Air switches are very nice.
They are very popular.
Because you just push a button on the side of the sink and the sink aerator.
It used to be the toggle switch. People like those round, like in their granite countertop.
Sink aerator is another word for garbage disposal. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
I never looked up the word aerator.
Also, garbage disposal, if you didn't know this, there is a little red button on the bottom of it. That's a GFCI interrupter.
A reset button.
A reset. And when your garbage disposal suddenly stops working, instead of calling me first, why don't you just try clicking that button first? Because I've gone out to someone's house and it's like, I need a whole new one. I brought all the stuff. I brought the box, got the new garbage disposal. They swore it was broken. It was done. And I clicked the button and it works now. So
if a garbage disposal stops working, try the reset button. But most importantly, don't stick your hand down there, man.
Yeah, please.
The only time you would ever stick your hand down inside there is if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the power is off and the power has been tested to know that it's off.
Right. Oof.
Okay, so microwaves need power.
Microwave, the fridge, the microwave, the oven, the dishwasher. You need some outlets for your toaster.
And the dishwasher needs plumbing. And it needs plumbing. Hopefully, if your dishwasher is not anywhere near,
it needs hot water plumbing.
Yes, and if the dishwasher is not near the kitchen sink, like if it's 4 or 5 cabinets over, that's tricky.
It could be,
because now you've got to run lines through the back of everything. So try to get your dishwasher close to the sink if you can, but that's going to need power. And then
your vent fan, that's another thing that needs some power.
Vent fan.
Yeah, or what do we call them?
Hood?
A hood. That's it.
A ventilation hood. Now, I'm surprised.
Okay.
Literally surprised at how many homes I go into and they want either a new hood,
Okay.
or they want a new microwave with a ventilation with a ventilation hood to it, and there's no ventilation pipe.
I see that is recirculating.
Yes, I see it a lot.
Gross.
I see it a lot.
I see it all the time too.
Dude.
And I ask people, did you know that this is
did you know that this air ain't going out of the kitchen?
Pulling it up off of your oven and shooting it into your kitchen?
Yep, it's shooting greasy air right back at you.
I got a good story.
Okay.
$15,000 imported Italian stove.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a brand spanking new house that costs a lot of millions of dollars.
Is this one that you did earlier this year?
Yes, but don't mention,
I remember.
Don't mention names.
I'm not going to mention the name.
Okay. So I was called because there was a little panic because, first of all, the builder, for some reason, had forgotten to put in a hood. And not only had he forgotten to run electrical, he had not run
a vent
pipe outside. So we have a kitchen that's worth $400,000
Jesus,
with a imported Italian stove from like Europe that is 15 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And they had me install a gigantic hood recirculating fan.
Mm-hmm. After the fact.
It's done.
And it was a recirculating fan, not a fan. Yeah. For those of you watching, a recirculating vent hood or vent fan does not carry air out of the kitchen. There's no pipe up in that cabinet.
No,
it's attached to a cabinet, and all it does is it takes the air and it kicks it right back out of the kitchen. And I just installed one. I mean,
why
that it needed a hole.
Yeah.
That was spooky. That happened in the last episode too. It was a ghost. I installed one just recently that needed a hole. It needed a 6-inch hole, vent hole cut in for the vent pipe, but then there was nothing.
It was just
So in order for it to work, the homeowner has to open up the doors to the cabinet above
so it could come out of the cabinet,
so that the vent hood would work. And in my opinion, I think it's worth it to go the extra mile, and it might cost you a few $100. It might cost you $1,000 or $2,000.
Get it outside,
but get the air outside, man. Like you'll be so happy that the air moves outside. And a lot of times that's just following some sort of channel up in the ceiling to get it outside. But I see that a lot.
There's grease in there. There's all sorts of stuff in there.
Yeah.
I've seen dust standing up on the top of a cabinet this tall.
And I and all of our friends highly recommend
absolutely
full ventilation for your kitchen, recirculating hoods, recirculating microwave fans. They are lame. So if you're redoing your kitchen, give that some thought. How are we going to get the air out of the kitchen? Okay.
Get it out.
Okay. Plumbing.
Okay.
We just had an episode on plumbing.
We did.
So what are some key things that people need to think about when they get ready to redo their kitchen? What are some of the plumbing things they need to take into account before they even...
Here's one they always forget or can forget. You need a water line for your fridge so you can have ice and water. Most fridges have them.
Hold on. I'm going to do something for a second. Okay. I'm going to grab my chicken. I'm going to turn around. What'd you just say?
What?
I forgot what he just said. You said people always forget about it, and I just forgot about it.
Okay. A water line.
That was stupid.
For your, you really.
I went a long way for that dud of a laugh.
That's my bad. You lost
me.
All
right. It's all right.
A water line for your fridge. You got to plumb that
water
in
lines
ahead
for
of
your
time.
fridge. Yep. And water
Or-
lines for fridges can be tricky, man.
They can.
They can really mess with your dexterity as a
It's a quarter
kitchen
inch. It's a
installer.
quarter-inch line.
which isn't that easy to deal with.
It can't-
Quarter inch can be tricky.
Yeah.
A tricky tiny pipe
Yeah.
that sometimes the kit
Mm-hmm.
to
You're talking
attach it to the water line down below
Yeah.
or to attach it to the fridge itself is kind of what the hell
Yeah,
is this
there are
shit?
all sorts of old kits. They call them saddle valves, where you put it on to a copper and then you twist it and it corkscrews a hole into
Yeah.
the copper valve.
And then there's no way to shut it off.
Don't do that.
Yeah, saddle
Call-
valves. Ugh.
Yeah, don't do that. You need to plumb in a regular angle stop valve that's for quarter inch. Somewhere it would be nice to have it behind the fridge
Mhm.
or underneath and get that up in so you have access to it.
Yeah, and those
that's
lines
something-
need a nice little coil in them so that you have room to move
Yeah,
the fridge
yeah,
in and
yeah.
out. You know,
Not just whoosh.
fridge needs an outlet behind it.
Gotta have an outlet. So and the kitchen sink is one of the main ones that have a bunch of stuff connected to it.
A lot of stuff going on underneath the kitchen sink.
You got these new faucets with all the spray hoses, and you can touch
Mhm.
them. You can clap your hands, and they turn on. All this weird stuff. It's like,
Mhm.
got to have that. A lot of times, the garbage disposal that's connected under the sink has the dishwasher connected to it.
Yep.
So you got all like the kitchen sink is not just it's just water. It's all connecting all this stuff together.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
I've had quite a few jobs lately just replacing countertops,
mhm.
and you're basically almost replumbing the whole kitchen
Yeah.
when you're just replacing your countertops. You have
Yeah.
to undo everything, take everything out,
Yep.
and then reattach everything when it goes in. And that, as we've talked about on our plumbing episode, that can be an issue if you're talking about a 20-year-old kitchen and you got to come in and disconnect everything for new countertops, man. You got to be prepared that you might have to stop and replace the shutoff valves underneath
Yeah.
the sink. You might have to.
Yep. I mean, I would say just replace them.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something's been there if an angle stop or a shutoff valve under a sink, that's just plumber talking for more than 10 years. I don't care if it's the same valve, just replace it.
See, I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, just do it.
I always go under. Always, I always
costs you
go
$8.
underneath, and I shut them off, and then I turn the sink on, and then I'm like, all right, they're both off. I don't need to replace them, and that's
Well,
how I feel, and that's how
yeah.
I am because I'm not the journeyman plumber that you are.
Yeah, if it's a gate valve, because the old gate valves are made out of plastic for shutoffs. I just
Ball valves are definitely preferable,
update 'em.
right?
And if it's copper, my favorite is compression.
Mm-hmm.
You can sweat them, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about compression valves is you can take them apart, pull off the old valve, and leave the ferrule and the nut on, and put on a brand new copper valve.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've updated your valve again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very simple.
Yes.
That's just my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, so
appliances,
walls.
walls. What
Oh yeah,
What
let's
about
do
walls?
appliances first. Let's go. We kind of covered appliances, didn't
we
we?
did, yeah. There's
There's
a lot of people
microwaves.
like this is the new a trend,
Mhm.
popular trend. Appliance garages are huge.
Yes, I fixed an appliance garage.
I didn't
and
even
that
know
was
what
my.
they were.
I
Someone
had a
said my appliance garage, and I was like, "What?
I had a customer who
What is an appliance garage?"
who I ended up doing a ton of work for. And the first thing they ever called me for was an appliance garage. And she's just like, I just want to know if you can fix it.
Right.
And I said, I don't know until I try,
Right.
but I have to come to your house. I
They have
actually
one of those
have to
rolling
do it.
doors on it. Or
And I
something?
said, I'll tell you what I'll do. You know, I'll spend I'll spend a minimum of a half an hour on it. And if after a half an hour I can't fix it, I'm not going to charge you for my time.
Mhm.
But if I can fix it, I'll know within a half an hour if I can fix it. And I was able to fix it. But it was
What happened to it? Like what?
it was the way that it's basically it's a little mini roll top desk.
Yeah, or like a garage door, right? Like
This was like this
Yeah.
one was like it was like a garage door that comes up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like a roll top desk. It rolls
it
back
is
in.
pretty cool.
So what had happened is the way that those tracks that guide the
Mhm.
door up and in, one of them had come off and loose, and it was really hard to reconnect it. Really difficult to get it reconnected in such a way that the door would move again. It just took a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And going back and forth and trying different things. And I had to take some trim off of the outs where it was trimmed
it was like
in.
kind of bent.
Yeah, it was all jacked up.
Dude, those are super popular.
But I fixed it, and then they hired me for years to fix other things.
Outlet has to go in the appliance garage. Probably a quad 1, 2, 3, 4. If you got stuff plugged in there. So there you go again. There's another.
Yeah, so there was a this one did not have an outlet, and so she wanted me to. So I drilled a hole in the side of the back so that they could get a plug out of it for the. I can't remember if it was a toaster or a coffee maker, but there was something plugged in there. Anyway, the appliance garage.
Yeah.
Very hoity-toity.
We used to have them, all our appliances, the little espresso machine and the toaster and an air fryer and a blender and all on the top of it. Now it's popular to keep them.
There's a comedian
unseen.
There's a comedian, one of my favorite stand-up comics. His name is Gary Goldman.
Okay.
Gary Goldman's hilarious. He's got this great bit about how Jerry Seinfeld owns a building.
Okay.
In New York City. Jerry Seinfeld owns a building just to hold all of his cars. And
is this real?
And Gary Goldman, the comedian that's telling this bit, is like, my wife and I can't afford an apartment that's big enough so that we can keep the toaster on the countertop. And Jerry's got a building for all of his cars. We don't have a place to keep the toaster. I just think that's so funny. He's just drawing upon the differences between his career and Jerry Seinfeld's comedy career. That's funny. Comedians are, unless they make it huge like Jerry Seinfeld, comedians are typically
like struggling
on
artists.
The poor side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a musician, so struggling.
Someday I'm gonna get me that gold-plated rubber chicken. But until then, I just got to deal with this one. So we got appliances. Do ceilings, floors, and walls. Yeah, walls. I mean, this is all like painting, trim. Yeah, if you're in an old house and the walls are not plumb, you want to know ahead of time, because you have two options before you start putting all your cabinets in. You can either fix the walls and make them straight before you start putting your appliances up. Which is a great idea, by the way. It is a great idea. Or you can just deal with the crooked walls that are out of plumb and maybe wavy because there's plaster. Like maybe you're in an area where there never was a kitchen, and now ceiling. Same thing with ceilings. So if your ceilings are out of level and your walls are out of plumb, you're either going to make them plumb and level, or when you go to put your cabinets in, you're going to have a whole bunch of challenges to deal with because everything's crooked. If your ceiling is like this and you install brand new cabinetry that costs 25 grand, and then you want to put crown molding at the top of it so it's nice and straight, and the crown is nice and straight, you're going to suddenly see how messed up your ceiling is. Yep. It's not a good look. And there's really not a really easy way to fix that at the end, is there? Nope. What do? You hire a good trim carpenter to kind of fudge everything and make it look nice. Same thing goes with. What if it's like 2 inches to 0? Dude, I've seen that a lot in old houses where they get to the end of the kitchen and now they go to put the cabinets up and you're like, holy cow, there's literally 1.5 inches difference in 12 feet of kitchen from here to here. And now you got to deal with it. I've done that I've come across that in some really nice kitchens where I was hired just to come in and do the cabinets. Yep. And I go to do the cabinets and I'm like, that ceiling's way out of whack. And they're like, what? Really? And you're like, well, I'm just telling you, I'm going to have to fix. The other one that really messes people up, man, is crooked floors. Yeah. Like I've been in some houses where, like, from one side of the kitchen to the other, same thing. There's a 2-inch difference, and that's going to be huge when you go to plop your cabinets down. Yeah. you know, because
That's
your
a
cabinets need to, when everything's done with your kitchen cabinets, the top needs to be perfectly level for your countertops. So if the floor is crooked, you're either going to straighten the floor before you do anything, or you're just going to slap the floor down and live with the fact that you got to shim the shit out of
let me ask
the
you a
underside of those
carpenter tip.
cabinets.
Let me ask you a question about being a carpenter.
Go ahead.
So you come into a kitchen, you're going to install some cabinets, and you're looking at the floor because you're making some observations, and you decided you're not going to level out the floor. Where do you start putting in the cabinets first?
The high point.
Okay.
You put your first.
A lot of people don't know that.
You find the high point.
Please find the high point.
And that may or may not be the first cabinet that you install, but
you got to know that, right?
You need to know where that high spot is, because nothing's going to come in. Yeah, you can't start. If you start,
you can't go lower than the high point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to make
That's
everything
super important. A lot of that has caused a lot of bad words to be said over the years.
Yeah.
As you go, and I did it when I was young. Just, you start with the corner cabinet.
Dude,
someone told me the corner cabinet. I put the corner cabinet in. I am going away. I'm screwing. Everything's great.
On this.
And then
on this level, I have a very similar piece of advice. And that is, if you're on a crooked floor and you have a bunch of cabinets going in, you want to shim underneath the cabinets so that the top of the level of the cabinet is nice and straight and level. You do not want to just put the cabinets in and leave the shimming up to the countertop guys.
Oh gosh.
Because they're not going to do it. Countertop guys,
they'll shim it with silicone.
Yeah, but even
they'll just be like, "Oh, it's filled," and the countertop will.
I lived in a house where they shimmed the countertops and not the cabinets. Cabinets were all jacked up and crooked, and they shimmed underneath the countertops, and it was everything. Everything was a mess. Everything was always breaking.
Yeah,
everything was always breaking.
Because that's a good point. That's a good tip. That's a good one.
That's a real good tip. All right, so I think that's about it for today. There's other things we could talk about. We did cover HVAC cabinets, backsplashes. We didn't cover backsplashes.
A lot of people, popular backsplashes is
backsplashes and countertops kind of go together.
Tile backsplashes are extremely popular. You got to be careful. The size of the tiles you put in backsplashes can make things seem really busy. So you got to be careful. Like, it's one of those aesthetic things. If you don't know what you're doing, go on, Google or YouTube and look at some ones that you like and kind of see what they did. And
you need to plan for the height of a backsplash. The height from countertop to the bottom of the cabinets should usually be right around 18 inches.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to creep down into 16, 15-inch land. Then you're not going to be able to stand up a lot of appliances that you want to stand up, like blenders and stuff like that. They're not going to fit.
And is it going up into the space behind the microwave, or is it stopping at the bottom of the microwave, which means you need to get the microwave in first and tile up to that area, or it needs to run up and in because the distance from the microwave from the back of the wall is changing where it sits.
The other thing that people don't think about if you're new at putting in kitchens is when you do backsplashes, whether it's tile, it doesn't matter what you make a backsplash out of. You can make a backsplash out of just about anything. I highly recommend something waterproof.
Great idea.
Great idea. Not always followed. I have been in houses where the backsplash is not green board or anything. It's just regular old sheetrock.
Oh yeah.
Or I've been in some places where it's like, why would you make a backsplash out of something that's not? Anyway.
Yeah.
The thing that you want to think about and plan extra time for when you're doing a backsplash is the backsplash has to end. You have to have a transition.
Yes, right.
There are transitions between where the backsplash ends and you move on to regular wall, or where the backsplash comes together at a corner. Like, those are the little things that you're like, oh, I didn't think of that. And now you got to come up with some sort of piece of trim.
A Schluter edge.
Schluter edge.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do not know what a Schluter is.
Schluter, it's a tile application
Oh, yes.
where you can go and tell your client, what color would you like?
It's like, do they call it Z-bar sometimes?
They might call, yeah. It's just a little angle that you
Mhm.
put on after you put your backer board and your thin set, and you put a little edge that it's just like trim and
Yeah.
carpentry.
But there's other things to make backsplashes
Yeah.
out of. Another nice thing to make a backsplash out of is PVC beadboard.
Yeah.
That comes out
You wipe it
looking
off,
really
and
pretty.
you spill all your spaghetti sauce on the wall
Mhm.
after for whatever reason,
Mhm.
because the whole idea is the splashing.
Yeah. And same thing with countertops. Countertops have to be more durable than backsplashes
Mhm.
because like a backsplash is going to get something splashed on it. Whereas a countertop could very well have a pool of something
Yes.
sitting on it for hours or maybe days.
We could
and
tell
it's got
horror stories.
That's
with that.
why
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like granite, quartz, marble, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the butcher block countertops because they're
No.
not
And
very
also,
durable. You know? They look
A
nice.
stone that is not porous is extremely important to think about, because you knock a glass of red wine over on a porous stone
Mhm.
top.
Yeah.
It stains it.
Yeah.
It does never. Some people might tell, "Oh, I'll come and get that out." You never get it out.
No.
There's going to be a stain. So think about that. A darker
Mhm.
countertop that's not porous. I've seen people knock over bottles of olive oil on a brown and white countertop,
Mhm.
and they didn't know, and it was like night, and they woke up in the morning and they cleaned it up, and there was this big brown.
Yeah.
So
the moral of that little section is you can make a backsplash or a countertop out of virtually anything you want. But Andon and I highly recommend waterproof materials,
Yes.
that will resist stains, will resist the
easy cleanup.
resist red wine and spaghetti gravy.
Yeah.
That you want things that like
You don't want stone that soaks things up.
yeah.
I mean, and that might sound counterintuitive because you're like, it's
Why?
stone. Different stones, just
Yeah.
like in tree wood,
Mhm.
have different grains and are,
That's
better
why
to
you don't
use.
see any countertops made out of lava rock.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've never seen one.
No, I would love to have a countertop made out of
Flintstone.
obsidian. That would be cool.
That would be. Now, if you found a big enough piece of obsidian
Mhm.
to build a countertop,
Mhm.
that would be something too.
It would be cool if they started making Flintstones plumbing fixtures. You remember
what?
that? Remember the elephant that helped with that had the trunk
Yeah.
inside the.
Yeah.
It's a living, And then there was something else underneath. What was underneath the sink that acted as a garbage disposal?
Oh, dude, I don't remember.
I don't know. We're dating ourselves with the Flintstones. There's kids
They're not.
listening to this. They're like, "What the hell's a Flintstone?"
You're right. It's a vitamin that you eat or something.
Yeah. So I hope all of this discussion helps you out
Yes.
the next time you think about making some changes in your kitchen, whether they're big changes or small changes. I highly encourage you to approach the kitchen project with patience and planning. And if you do that, then everything will go.
Write it down.
smooth.
Yeah. Plan
Make
it
a
all
plan.
out.
Write it down. Don't just
Go for it.
wing it. Not with a kitchen.
Mm-mm.
Unless
you want to take 179 trips to Home Depot.
Oh, one more quick thing. One more quick little thing. And people don't realize that you can do this is sometimes people get really tired of their old dated looking kitchen cabinets.
Okay.
If you can do this, it can look like a brand new kitchen. If you hire a really good cabinet painter and you empty those cabinets out for a couple of days and have a cabinet painter who really knows what they're doing come in,
Mhm.
they can spray those cabinets with a new finish instead of replacing all of your countertops and all of your cabinets, and you can give you a brand new looking kitchen simply with a really nice paint job. But you can't go in there with a roller and a brush and just start painting. You need to hire a really good painter to make that come out nice.
And
But anyway,
we've seen that.
all right, that's it.
All
I'm
right.
cutting it off.
All right.
As always, Thank you very much for letting us
bring a whole lot of experience
and a little bit of humor
to
onto your job
site.
We'll see you next time, folks. Thank you.